Alright, this is almost the 90th time that I've tried taking this stupid video. I'm just not good at this. So this is a first gen TM-9 that was sold here in the States. And like everybody else, I've had a hard time trying to find magazines that fit and function in this pistol here. So I started going through my odds and ends of extra magazines and stuff that I have, and I had bought a set of these Promag SR9 full-size magazines for use in my SR9C at the range. And these were 10-round magazines, but since I live in a free state, I just drilled the dimple out so I could use them as standard capacity magazines. So what I came up with here is that these magazines are almost identical to each other. So I mean, you can kind of see that just in the side by side of them there. Now, this Promag does sit out of the mag well a little differently, but it's not that big of a deal. I'll try to give you close-ups of that whenever I set it up to see you function it in the gun. But so what I did is did some measurements off the factory one here, and what I came up with is I needed to put a slot 9/16 from the top of this lip of the magazine, the actual steel case, the end of the magazine there, not the follower. So 9/16 I ended up putting a slot here with this 1-inch cutoff wheel that I have in my die grinder. And I'll probably end up taking this die grinder to, while it's running, to a grinding wheel and cut the OD down a lot smaller to where I could probably maybe cut all the way through this magazine, the body of it. But this is about 3/4 of the way through, and I've shot about 50 rounds through this thing with it, and it's fine. It's not coming out of there. I mean, it's stuck in there. So, and all the factory paddle is doing, the mag release or the mag catch is just catching on this lip. So that's basically mimicking that right there. So let me set you up over here, and I'll try to give you an idea what it looks like as it sits inside of the TM-9. Like I said, this is the first gen. I know that they're selling a second gen here in the States, but the magazines are the same on the first gen and the second gen. There's been some guys on the forums that have bought the TM-9 from Classic Firearms who's selling it right now, the second gen, and they also have the first gen. This was actually only like $219 on Gunbroker, and I bought that like right before the pandemic started. So these were really, really cheap. So I'll try to set you up real quick and give you an idea what it looks like. Alright, how do you like this paint job on this wall over here? I did that when I was about 5 years old. I purchased my parents' house when they retired, and it's just been kind of like that down here in this little room in my basement. So anyway, so TM-9, here's the factory magazine. Lock back. Trying to do everything here with my stupid left hand, so just have to bear with me. So here's this Promag SR9 full-size magazine with that slot cut into it. So that's what it looks like, the gap there in the mag well, sticking out of the mag well rather. Okay, it does lock back. Releases just like the other one. You can hear the audible click in there of it catching on that notch. Drops free. Alright. So there you go. The Promag SR9 Ruger SR9 full-size magazine. You can put that little notch in there and can have you some extra magazines for fairly cheap. I haven't looked lately to see what these things go for on Gunbroker, the 17 rounders, but I would assume that they are probably 20 bucks being Promag, and I haven't had any problems with these feeding in my SR9C, and it still functions in the SR9C because the SR9C uses that rectangle notch there as the mag catch. So, but just grab these and disassemble the magazine completely before you cut that notch in there, and just clean them out, and it'll work for you. Alright guys, take care.